Like, you own a gym, strength training guy, and you're gonna talk to me about breathing? Who are you to talk to me about breathing? Well, I'm somebody that breathes. Maybe you wake up in the morning and it could be the mattress, it could be the funky way that you slept the night before, but you wake up and your hips feel a little tight.
I'm on tonight, you know my hips don't lie, and I'm starting to feel it's right.
A little sore. Maybe your low back a little twingy. Like, you go on and you bend over to pick up something and it's like, oh man, my back doesn't feel quite right, quite ready.
I'm not ready.
Now, you might not have a full-service gym at your house where you can do things. So I'm very excited to offer you three solutions to help kind of get you back into the game before you have your first cup of coffee. Speaking of coffee. So the first thing I want to talk about is breathing. I know this might sound like, wow, that's kind of wonky. Like, you own a gym, strength training guy, and you're going to talk to me about breathing? Who are you to talk to me about breathing? Well, I'm somebody that breathes, just like you.
Good point.
When we start breathing for the myofascial integrated movement drills, our breath, we start by standing. So a lot of people start by being on the ground. We find it to be a little bit more engaging to be on your feet, and your feet are going to be hip width apart. So we don't want a wide stance, just hip width apart. And we're going to make sure that we sink into our feet. So we want our feet really rooted into the ground, because that helps to send the signals through our body for that stability. Now, as I began, it's important to know, where am I in my body? So I don't want to be rocked back on my heels. I want to be shifted on the balls of my feet. We like that you take one hand below your belly button, just place it on top of your belly, and the other hand on top. And as I sink into the ground, I should feel a lot of stress, a lot of tension leave my body. And all I'm asking is, as you're breathing, yes, we want you to breathe in, we want you to breathe out. But we want you to be as relaxed and allow that breath to be efficient. So by helping that breath, we can help better regulate your body's response to some of the stimuli. So as you're breathing in, you're breathing out, all we want you to do is be aware. Be present with where you're at. So as I inhale, what's the temperature of my breath as I inhale? It should come in cool. How about when I exhale? Whether it's through the nose or through the mouth, it should be warm. How does my hands feel on my belly? Does it feel like my hands are moving with the breath? How are my shoulders feeling? Does it feel like as I inhale, my shoulders are rising up to my ears? We're going to want to get rid of that. So we're going to want to sink a little bit more into the floor. So we want you to spend some time, 60 seconds, 120 seconds, whatever you want to do, as we just relax in that breath. That's just such a great way to help regulate the body back into kind of what we call a homeostasis. Our next drill that I'm going to offer you is what we call a hamstring push. And you might look at this and be like, wait a minute, that looks like a hamstring stretch that I do all the time. That really doesn't offer much. And you wouldn't be wrong by saying that. But what's different about this hamstring push, first of all, we're going to be in an upright position, and we're going to have a better leverage to keep our spine straight. I find so many people, when they do the seated butterfly, modified butterfly hamstring stretch, they're letting their spine round, and the one thing that they're forgetting is that breath. They're forgetting about the relaxation. They're reaching for their toes with that straight leg, and it's causing a lot of stress, and so they're making these faces as they're just trying to reach and stretch. And it's actually not allowing for the lengthening of those muscles. It's not allowing for the core to stabilize. So as we're taking this hamstring push, we're going to focus on the breathing. So we're going to put our foot out at about a 30-degree angle. We're going to angle our hips back. We're going to sink back into our hips. And as I inhale, I'm going to pull the breath in. And then as I exhale, I'm going to turn my hands away and push that breath out towards my foot. And so using the breath as we just breathe as comfortably as we can in, breathe as comfortably out, allowing our body to sink a little bit deeper into the hips within reason of comfort. And so with the angle of our body and the orientation of where we are in our environment and adding the breath, that's going to allow more stretch. That's going to allow more activity through the body in an efficient manner. So when we're doing a lot of those hamstring stretches on the ground, we're not very efficient with that movement. We're very inefficient. But as we practice this, we can be more efficient. Let's talk about the third drill. We're going to be in what we call a side sit position. So you're kind of in a figure 4 sit. One hand will be behind you. The other hand, you're going to have that hand palm facing you. And you're going to begin by winding up. So you should feel like as you're spiraling, as you inhale, I'm going to spiral out and I'm going to reach for the top shelf. So I should feel how my trunk spirals and how my arm spirals. And now my arm is going to be light. It's going to be weightless. So I don't want to be sitting there trying to stretch my arm by being really rigid with the arm. I should be very efficient. I should feel those shoulders staying away from the ears. And as I reach for that top shelf, I'm going to exhale as I pull that hand back into that original coiled position. And you might be thinking, man, that looks like there's a lot of movement through my spine, that this probably isn't going to be a good exercise, as you said it should be. But I'll tell you what, because of that side sit position that you're in, because you're pushing down with the hand, you're creating a lot of stability so that we're actually not moving so much from the low back spine. Everything is coming through our shoulders where we're supposed to be mobile. So things are stable where they're stable, mobile where they're mobile, breathing with it, being very present still with your environment. This is going to be efficiency. These are 3 easy to do drills. When you feel that back being a little bit unstable, a little wonky, a little tight in the hips, and you're going to feel so much fresher after that. And then you're ready for your coffee. So I hope you have a great day and a good morning, and you're welcome.